To solve sustainability challenges, we really need to get the whole supply chain involved. Hi, I'm Daniel Collado-Ruiz, co-founder and head of product at Erster. And today I'm going to show you how you can quickly invite your suppliers to contribute to your LCA, but also to get results themselves. Here I have an example, a very quick model that I've put together, and I'm going to open it and select one area in which I want my suppliers to participate in particular. This scenario that I'm going to show you is for when you want to pick your battles and go for those specific suppliers. Now, here I'm going to pick the biggest impact, the photovoltaic cell production. And here I have a button to enhance my data by asking a supplier to participate. So if I click here, I can search among my existing suppliers. So here I have my supplier incorporated as a supplier. If I wouldn't find it, I could click here to invite them through email. So if they're not there yet, I can get them involved. But I'm going to select this supplier, and I'm going to say, do you have an LCA of your cells? Now, in practice, I could just leave it blank, and they would get a request, a full request. But here I'm adding an extra message. And there we go. Now the request has been sent. And what I'm going to do now is change screens so that you see from the point of view of the supplier. And here's what the supplier sees now. They log in and they see that they have one customer request. Somebody has asked them for an LCA. And when they look at it, here it is, photovoltaic cell production. That's all they know so far. And they can click on the message and they see my friendly message from before. Now, they can do a number of things, and these are quick links to either create a new cycle from here or search from their existing cycles. But instead of that, I'm going to click on the name and see a little bit better what this is. Here I see a preview of how they're currently modeling. This is not the cycle, so I don't get access to what my customer is modeling. What I get is how are they currently representing me? And this text on the left explains. It comes from EcoInvent, and I can choose to use this as a template, as a starting template for my information, or I could just start from scratch or suggest again one of my existing cycles. Just to show you, I'm going to choose to use this as a template. And my solar cells, I'm going to keep the template selected, and I'm going to delete the default functional unit, but otherwise keep it in square meters of the solar cells. And now it will create my cycle, and as you see, it's already pre-populated. But in this case, instead of it being a template out of a commodity like you may have seen in other uses of Erster, or blank, what you have is the full EcoInvent process that they're using to model you. We have it as a suggested starting point. So you see that we have representative values already included here, and I can adjust this to make it my own. I can say, oh, this for me is 0.93, and it will adjust to match that. And they can say this is 32. So I often call this that doing an LCA like this is almost like paint by numbers. If you have your own numbers, which if it's your company, you probably do, or you probably have access to, then this is the lowest threshold to have in an LCA. Now, if you have an LCA expert, they may say that you could add this, or this process may be a better model, but this is already much better than using an EcoInvent process, or much better than using, well, anything that's further away from the supplier data. So when I'm ready with this, so when my supplier is ready, they say, okay, so this is the result. I've done all my updates. They click here to issue a release. Now, releases are the way that we tell the world this is ready. So if for any reason I forget, the app will remind me that I still have a notification. I haven't made it official. But if I click here, I'll make it official, and I'll say, let's say, well, it's my first release, so there's no need for it. I could document here to respond to a request from Erster Inc. And I issue my release, and I can go to my list or my customer LCA requests, and I see that I'm done. So I'm confirming that I don't have any additional request in there. So this is all from my supplier side. They've answered already. So if I go again here, now, next time I go to my data sources, I see that I have some information here on request for suppliers. It says completed. I can go in there. I can also go from here. And it tells me, oh, your supplier has made information available. So it's both here and in the other drawer that we saw. And when I click here, my data is now connected to that supplier's data. That means that as they publish new releases, as they publish new updates, I will get notified that I should probably update my cycle and make that model better. So here I have my solar cells, which, if we remember the previous result, these are considerably better because we reduce some of the most impacting values. And that is in essence how it works when you are asking a specific question. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, oh, but I have hundreds of thousands of suppliers, or even hundreds of suppliers. Is still intimidating with that many. And that's why you have another way of engaging with your supply chain. And that is by going to suppliers and customers on your menu. There you see a list of, this is a dummy account, so I don't have my real ones. I didn't want to put it on camera. But this is a list of who's already registered as my supplier and my customer. In Erster, information always flows from supplier to customer, but nothing stops you from being both. As you see there, I have Erster both as my supplier and my customer. So information always flows from suppliers to customers. That means that as a supplier, you control what information goes to your customers, and as a customer, you know that your information never leaks to your suppliers unless you explicitly share it. And what if I want to invite a whole supply chain? Well, if I click here, Add New, it lets me select a link, and if I click here, it copies it to the clipboard, and I can include this as part of my communication with my suppliers, share it in a newsletter, etc. Now, that sounds scary, but remember, information always flows from suppliers to customers. So that means that if I share this anywhere, I will be able to get data from them. So suddenly when they start publishing their LCAs, I will have them right at my fingertips when I start searching for processes. When I start adding, instead of EcoInvent steel, I may add my specific supplier steel or electricity from the grid based on the model from EcoInvent, and I can go to my specific supplier's electricity grid. So those will show up as suggestions higher up and right in at my search results. So this way we can invite hundreds of thousands of suppliers in a way that you don't have to ask them for specific questions. You say, for the products that you sell to me, please provide an LCA when available. And that's it. That's how information flows. Of course, there's a lot of complexity behind the scenes, and of course, there's a lot of different ways of using it. But those are the tools at your disposal to involve your supply chain in a way that not only, changing to the other view, not only are you asking questions from them, like the old-fashioned Excels being sent back and forth to get them to give you numbers, but you're actually getting them to deliver. You're actually delivering them specific value because they can see their impact, they can see the sources of their impact, and they can make decisions about it. So you're engaging with them and contributing to making them greener. Thank you very much for watching this video. And as usual, if you're interested to reach out, you can contact us in all of our social media or go to erster.org to get in touch with us, or if you haven't yet, to sign up and start using Erster. Thank you very much.